You can't leave. He'll kill me.
Would you relax, son? He's just going to ask you a few questions. Isn't that right, Sonny?
Yeah.
If anything, you should be thanking him for offering to pay your bail. That was a pretty nice gesture.
I've refused bail. Just lock me up until my arraignment.
All right, we're skipping a few steps. We haven't even filed any charges.
You're dragging your feet on purpose. Just so he can harass me. That's illegal. I know my rights.
Men who kidnap women and pull a gun out on a kid have no rights.
You're playing a dangerous game.
Now what are you talking about?
Brenda's gone. The room she was being held in is empty. Where have you taken her?
I haven't seen Brenda since her wedding day.
Don't lie to me. If she isn't found, you'll be the one who pays. Brenda could not have escaped on her own. The door was locked. Someone had to let her out.
So of course it had to be me.
Well, you've proven yourself to be less than truthful when it comes to Mrs. Corinthos.
Even if I'd known you were holding Brenda here, which I didn't, I'd have no way to help her escape. This is the only room you've allowed me in. I didn't help Brenda disappear. You want to point fingers? Why don't you start with your servants?
They know better than to defy me. I thought you did as well.
This paranoia is becoming tedious. You'd better stop with the accusations, or you're gonna lose me for good.
My life is centered around my family, and it really upsets me to know that my son was threatened. It upsets me that my wife is missing, but you know what really gets to me? Is to know that you're responsible.
I was minding my own business. Your son came after me.
I have patience, but I do have limits. You pulled a gun on a kid. And when I think about my son lying in the gutter with a bullet in his head, when I think of my wife being held against her will, it makes me have thoughts of making you suffer for the pain you caused my family.
Hey man, you're a cop. You can't just stand there and let him threaten me.
I feel like coffee right now. Can you give me some coffee?
Let me get you some. I'll be right back.
Hey, no, hey, you can't leave. If you leave, he's gonna kill me.
What the hell's going on in here?
Thank God you can help me. Corinthos is threatening to kill me. This cop is gonna let it happen.
This guy works for Theo Hoffman. We have a witness that can put him at the scene of an attempted murder at the hospital. We also have reason to believe that he's involved in Brenda Barrett's disappearance. Now, I've given him the opportunity to cooperate. Should he choose not to, then I'll file the paperwork.
Don't worry about the paperwork. It'll get lost in the shuffle.
Hey, if you leave, Corinthos will kill me.
That's up to you.
This whole department is corrupt. I want a lawyer!
Okay, you know what? I'm going to get you a phone call. And I'll get you the coffee you wanted, but might have to brew a fresh pot. This stuff's pretty old. Could be a while.
Yeah, there's no problem, because we're going to get better acquainted.
I was just following orders. Hoffman is the guy that you want.
Tell me where I can find him.
I've got her.
You really do need to be more careful, Mrs. Corinthos. A person could die out here. You know I should be offended. I didn't even get a proper goodbye.
All right. Start from the beginning. You leave anything out, I go on my coffee break. We clear? How long you been working for Theo Hoffman?
Since October. He hired me to do some surveillance. He said he wanted someone local to keep an eye on a woman that he knows.
Does this woman have a name?
Brenda Barrett.
Okay, so what, you update Theo how? In person, on the phone, what?
It was all done over the phone.
Well, Theo's been here a few months now. I mean, he could look after Brenda himself. Why does he need to keep paying you?
He had me doing some other stuff.
What kind of other stuff?
I'm not copying anything
Okay,
until
well,
there's a deal.
Well, you know what the deal was? You talk or I go on my coffee break.
He had me steal a van. I got it painted to look like it belonged to the catering company.
Good. Did you drive this van to the Archer Pavilion?
I was told to pull up next to the limo, open the back door, and help some guy put Brenda into the van.
This guy was in the back of the limo?
Yeah, with another woman. She and Brenda were both unconscious.
Then what?
I don't know.
Come on, you're lying to me. You tell me what you know.
That's all I know, cop. All right?
Where's my wife?
Look, I don't know where your wife is, I swear.
She was in the van. Where did you take her?
To the airport.
Put her on a flight?
There was a car waiting by the entrance to the private plane area. I pulled up, and the Balkan, Theo, and another guy got out.
How do you know?
What?
How do you know it was him? You said you only talked to him on the phone. How do you know it was him?
Well, I didn't know it was him when I pulled up. Brenda was still unconscious, and I helped him and another guy get her out of the van and into the car. And before they pulled away, Theo rolled down his window and told me he would be calling me in the morning with my next assignment. That's when I realized who he was.
Where did the car go?
Back into town.
You sure, or is that what Theo told you to say?
I wouldn't lie to you, I swear.
You better not.
Then what?
I torched the van and walked away. I took a cab back into town, and look, I don't know where Theo took your wife. I swear.
It's safe, I assure you. I don't need to go to the trouble of tainting a drink when you're doing a fine job trying to kill yourself, wandering around in the cold, wearing little more than a slip.
Oh, it's nice to know you care.
It would be a serious inconvenience for you to die while I still have some use for you. You can start by telling me who unlocked the door.
Go to hell.
I've been treating you courteously and keeping you comfortable, but you know that can change at any time.
What does it feel like to be insane?
What does it feel like to be a liar? Your life depends on you being truthful.
Hey, got your message. What happened?
Almost committed murder in the middle of the PCPD. The guy that Dante brought in for questioning, he's the guy who drove Brenda away in the van.
It's not like Theo to leave a loose end, especially one that's going to talk to the cops. Are you sure this guy's telling the truth?
Dante let me get in his face until he started talking. Mac played along. The guy was so scared he would have sold his mother.
Yeah,
down
but you
the
see
river
where he took Brenda.
to the airport so he could trade off with Theo. He'd have put her on a plane. She'd have been across country. I never would have seen her again. Apparently, he drove back into town.
So Brenda can still be here in Port Charles.
I don't care about territory or truces. Because I'm going to tear apart this town brick by brick. Until I find her.
You're up. Well, now that your blood is circulating again, perhaps you'll be able to concentrate and give me a truthful answer.
Yes, I wanted to tell you that no one helped me escape.
Well, never mind. I'm far more interested in my grandson.
Will you tell me why you're really doing all of this?
That child is the only thing I have left of Alexander.
I'm so sorry.
If you're truly sorry, you'll tell me where he is. I know my grandson is still alive.
Where are we with the Sean guy?
Sean came back from Manhattan. He found a name of a holding company in Theo's records. This was a company that Theo set up before he came to Port Charles, so I gave all the information to Spinelli. He's doing his research, and hopefully we can just come up with an address.
It's a good lead.
It would help to know what Theo's trying to accomplish. Taking Brenda, blowing up the limo. It's almost like you're his target, not Brenda.
You're right. You know what? This started with Theo avenging his son. He's messing with me. He wants a war. I sure as hell will give him one.